Wait, is this thing on? Can y'all hear me? Okay, here we go.
Woo! Just a dash. Just a dash. Just a dash. Just a dash.
Yes! What's up, y'all? If you're listening to this, let me start off by saying thank you so much for dropping by, because you didn't have to, but I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome to the bonus episode of Just a Dash, the prequel, if you will, to the start of a beautiful chapter. This episode is your chance to get to know me through the people that know me best. My best friends, my wolf pack, my squad. I literally have so many nicknames for them, y'all. But before we jump in, I want to tell y'all a little bit about the inspiration of the show and what to expect. First things first, I should tell y'all I'm an observer of people, experiences, and everything in between. I am fascinated by understanding the intersections of human connection. And that's really what's behind this podcast. Just a Dash was born of the idea that there should be no such thing as a taboo subject, that we should be able to find common ground, even if that requires unearthing layers of groundwork until the commonalities are revealed. I honestly just love learning from people and growing with people, because I really believe the more we understand each other, the better we can support and show up for one another. It's, in my opinion, a necessity for progress, and it definitely feels like a part of my purpose. So without getting too deep, because I'm a Cancer, y'all, which means I'm like the Mona Lisa, which means that I'm kind of cute and probably fun, but also low-key kind of cagey with my feelings. Like, girl, are you smiling? Are you good? All I'm saying is this podcast is my space to remove those assumptions of myself and of others and just be. So the podcast will be set up in 4 parts, and you can think of these segments as show ingredients that comprise my recipe of thought. We'll start off with Words to the Wise, which are quotes from icons, past and present, that really can inspire us and motivate us. And then we'll jump into Are You For Real?, which is basically my 2 cents on current events here or there, and it'll be brief. But let's be transparent from the jump. It's gonna be biased because 1, it's my opinion, and 2, it's tied to my identity in every which way. It just so happens that my identity needs to be taking up a lot more space in conversation. So shout out to all the Black creators out there. I see y'all. I'm inspired by y'all. Please keep going. But the key is also always balance, So the next show ingredient, say what, will be where the conversation happens. This is where other voices join me to dissect topics that appear easy to understand, but are sometimes more difficult to explain. And we'll finish out the episode with the rec room, the recommendation room, whether that's food, movies, music, or maybe even another podcast. Just a Dash is obviously a pun off my name. Y'all, I'm Dash if you didn't clock it yet. But it's also an illustration of how my mind works. It's this big old jumbo pot of observations, inspirations, and conversational destinations. And I'm really so excited to be sharing all of this with you. And like many recipes, sometimes the ingredients will be included and sometimes they won't be. But whatever the episode, you can expect that I'm going to learn and grow along the way as a person and as a podcaster. And that's the point of all this. So now we've arrived to why you're here. Please enjoy this bonus episode where some of my closest friends on the planet, Alexis, Jonathan, Sarah, Michelle, and Ryan, help y'all get to know me a little more. Enjoy the conversation, and I'll catch you again in episode 1. Asking me different questions. So this is what we're going to do. This is what's in store. They have questions for me, most of which I'm unaware of. I'm actually unaware of all of them. I haven't heard of any of these, so this should be interesting. Fresh off the dome. Hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble. And each one of them is going to ask me a question, and I'm going to respond. And y'all are going to get to know me a little bit better and hopefully get to know what's in store for Just a Dash as well for the season ahead. So I'm going to kick it back over to Lex.
All right. So I'm really excited about this question. So I know lately we've been talking a lot about spirituality and astrology and signs and all of those things. So I'm interested to know if spirituality, the stars, the universe, all of that good stuff, if it will make its way into this podcast as a topic of conversation at any point.
Wow, that's so amazing. I love that. So absolutely, Just a Dash is a play off my name. So it's very much about all the things that I'm passionate about and all the things that I love. Astrology is one of them. I have my zodiac sign tattooed on me, which fun dating story that comes with that for a later time. But, I definitely love astrology. I think, the stars, I think many things move the world, many things that we're not tapped into, and many things that we can be more aware of, or at least have more open conversation about. And, I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky to come from a family that has embraced different forms of spirituality and been open about that sort of dialogue. One last thing I will say about astrology is I think that a lot of people are misinformed about astrology. I think a lot of people use it as a way to judge others or dictate who they can't or can't have around them. And to me, the most beautiful thing about astrology is that it helps me understand people better. It helps me understand how they react to things, what's a priority for them, what moves them. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It should be about understanding each other more, never creating more division. So 100% it will be
Right.
a part of the show. So thank you for that question.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Good answer, good answer,
Thank
good answer.
you. All right. So next question, y'all. Next
Will be
question.
Michelle. Step on
Y'all.
down.
All right.
Jeopardy.
I have quite a few because I'm
Wow.
actually very interested to learn more about you guys and well specifically you, Dash.
She came out
But
with a book.
first question we'll do a little general.
Okay.
What's your philosophy in life?
Wow, my philosophy on life. What that reminds me of that Beyonce question where she was like, "My aspiration in life, my aspiration in life, aspiration in life,
Wow.
my aspiration in life
Just to be happy.
I wasn't expecting that
is to
question.
be happy."
That's a good question.
Wow. Okay, literally, let's stop.
Okay,
Let's stop.
Beyonce, all love to Beyonce,
All love to
Beyonce, girl.
Beyonce,
You know we messing with you,
always,
girl.
okay?
All love to you.
And to Blue Ivy. Amen. But my philosophy in life, I think is very simple, which is make good choices, be a good person. I used to say that all the time. I don't even know how I came up with it. It just kind of rolled off the tongue and I would say it all the time. And I know it doesn't seem contextual enough. And usually I'm a specific person, but to me, they feel very interchangeable. If you try your best to be a good person, you're most likely doing your best to make good choices. And if you're making good choices, it's probably because you're doing your best to be a good person. So that to me kind of simplifies it. It kind of breaks it down. I think at the end of the day, if we really think hard about it as human beings and just as beings, we know right from wrong. We do at the end of the day.
Right.
And if you can simplify the actions in your life down to that, I think it would make life a little bit easier. So I think that's how I look at things. I think that's how I try to live my life. That's the energy I try to bring around me, which is why y'all are all here.
We're still here after 11 years.
I think everybody here is a phenomenal human being, honestly, and helps make me a better person. So that is my pageant answer. Let's see what Beyonce thinks of that.
World peace.
10 points, 10 points, 10
Thank
points.
you.
I think the best summation to that is if you want to be somebody and you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
Oh,
There you go.
That's right.
That one.
Ryan, how many times we said that in our dorm room? I don't know. Every day?
I think it was on the wall somewhere behind
Behind the
pictures.
flag?
Yep.
Aw.
he said, yep. We love Ryan, if you couldn't tell. He truly is our favorite. As Sarah said, literally everyone here has a crush on Ryan.
So we all have a crush on Ryan, right? Is that
I am here.
Why did he say it like that? I am here. It's like he's quoting Beyonce. She's like, I am here. Okay, Ryan,
Jonathan
we see
definitely, of course, Jonathan found an opportunity to sing. Yes, amen to
course.
Jonathan.
Hold the microphone in a little closer to that one.
Are you drinking throat coat, Jonathan?
I've been drinking throat coat for like the past week. I didn't realize
That's a
like that
terrible
was the thing I
name.
was missing in my name.
I don't know what throat coat
My
is.
mind just
and
went
I
to
don't
so
wanna
many wrong
ask.
places with that.
I love
Yes.
how Ryan and
There might be
Michelle
underage
all
children
went straight
listening to this.
downhill with that. They were like,
Oh my
"What's
God.
wrong?"
There might be underage children listening to this, so let's not go there yet.
Oh, Ryan, no, it's just a little jacket that you wear around your throat.
Very
That's
different.
all it is.
Got it.
Okay, we're gonna
Got it.
steer back to the questions, y'all. This is what
Very
it's
different
like.
than the Miami
This
version.
this is what it's like having 6 very beautiful, vibrant personalities in one Zoom call. FYI to everyone, this is low key. That chaos that you heard is usually what it's like for 45 minutes, just to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like we're being really tame too. Like, I just got a new tube top. I want to take the tag off.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Next
So-
question.
Next question, Michelle.
All right. So obviously, obviously we live in a divided world right now. It's just way too divided. Literally like 50% to 50% don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But with this podcast, you're going to probably continue to experience differences in opinion. So how do you react to someone or a group of people who may not believe in the same things that you do or challenge your opinions, whether it be, in a nice way or in a rash way, how certain people are challenging people lately?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, and I think, I am a person, and I think y'all obviously know this about me. I really don't have a problem getting into more difficult discussions. I do think something that I've learned through our group is how to have conversations around differences of opinions. I do think it is important for me in any conversation that I'm having, regardless if I agree with a person or not, to establish that it's a safe space, that it's a space, for us to be honest with each other and honest with our experiences and honest with our biases and honest with, how we've been conditioned by society. I think at the end of the day, no matter the conversation I'm having with someone, I don't ever want to forget that I'm talking to a human. Sometimes there are certain subjects where there's not a difference of opinion. There is just right and wrong, and I'm sensitive. I am a Black woman, a child of immigrants, and that very much shapes my identity, and it very much shapes, the things that I've been blessed with in life and the things that have been obstacles for me in life. And I think I can't change that, so that will always kind of be a part of how I see the world, or at least the lens in which I see the world. But if I'm having a conversation with someone who's deeply in opposition to me and is hostile, the reality is that that's just not energy that's going to be on the show. The reality is that there are conversations that will come up in Just a Dash that will definitely be more challenging, that will definitely be more controversial, perhaps. And the guest speakers who we have on here, we very much want to have people who are up and coming in their communities, who are working to create unity, who are working to have conversations with people across the aisle, but doing it in a way that's productive, that's bringing the right energy into a space. And so, to make a long, as you can tell, I'm long-winded, which is why a podcast is good for me. But basically, I think I always come into a conversation from a place of respect. That being said, don't try me. I always match the tone. If someone, comes and is aggressive, it's not that I'm going to be aggressive back, but I'm certainly going to remind you that the show is called Just a Dash. So I think,
oh, and remember, it's over clapback
so I
season.
think, that's very much how I operate in real life. And this is very much an extension of who I am in a lot of ways. So I'm always open to have a dialogue. This is about having a dialogue. And I think that's a very important question I've brought up. Thank you, Shelley.
What topic are you most excited to dive into? Or which one are you most nervous to dive into?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I think the one that I'm most excited to talk about is probably, so this is interesting. It's simultaneously the one that I'm most excited and also most nervous to talk about, which is there will be a family episode. I grew up very much under the premise that blood is thicker than water, but there are literally 5 other people here who have become family to me. in the last over a decade, obviously 11 years. So it's really just a space to talk about boundaries within familial relationships, and how do you create those, and how do you find a balance within those, and how do you create your own chosen family, and how do those things play a part in the family that you're born into and the family you've created. And I just want to get different perspectives on that. I really want to talk about what it means when the family you're born into is not the family you connect to. When those foundations no longer exist, how do you rebuild that? So it's a exciting one for me, because I've been blessed to find a chosen family, and it happened so organically, honestly. Like I wasn't looking for it, and that's the best part, I think, about this friendship for me, is that it just landed on my doorstep and I received it. And it's taught me so much. But it's also nerve-wracking for me, because I have a very close relationship with my family, but I think, like everyone, it comes with its challenges, it comes with its complexities, it comes with its history. And my family is also a huge inspiration for me, so I wouldn't want anything on that episode to feel like any sort of slight, because I find both my families to be beautiful. In fact, I don't see them as two different families anymore, I just see them as one. So I think that's the episode I'm most nervous about. The second episode, just to tag on, is there will be a couple episodes that are about sex, to be quite honest.
Hey.
And not just typical sex. I'm talking about like sex and the different fetishes people have. What are the wildest stories? What are the experiences you've been in that you wish were different, so that you could feel more comfortable? What are sexual things that we don't talk about that maybe we should, that should feel more natural and organic? So I'm excited about that episode. I think every episode is going to come from a place of love and just wanting to evolve in the way that I think, and learning from other people. So I'm really excited for them all. I'm nervous for them all, but I have everybody supporting me every step of the way. So that's really exciting. Yeah.
Ooh. All right. So my question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you are chosen to be a lead actor in a particular biopic film of a celebrity.
Wow. Of a celebrity.
Of any particular idol in your life.
Okay.
If you're allowed to be the leading character, who would you want to represent in a biopic?
Wow.
And why?
Wow.
And why? Okay, this is going to be really interesting, but I have reoccurring, not dreams, but like I just think about this person a lot, and I don't know much about them either. So this kind of answers the question in a weird way, but
That's me.
I don't. Michelle, bro, that was hilarious. Oh my gosh. I learned about Wilma Rudolph when I was like, I think like in fourth grade. She was like an Olympic runner who had polio, I think when she was like 9 or 10, and like couldn't walk, and then eventually like could run and like won. And I always just thought that was such like a fascinating story. And I always like wanted that. I think a movie was made about her life like a long time ago, but I always thought that would be very like a cool role to play. Like, someone who struggled very early in their life and like goes on to do something incredibly triumphant, So I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I don't know if I think too much about playing celebrities. I think if there was another person I could think of, I don't think I could play her well, but I just think it would be phenomenal if someone made a film about Eartha Kitt's life, or Grace Jones. Like I don't need to play either one of those ladies. I have way too much yellow in my skin, but but somebody will do those roles justice and do them fabulously, and I would love to see that, because two definitely of my greatest feminine inspirations, Grace Jones.
The day we get an Eartha Kitt film, like I hope the movie theaters are open. But running to that theater.
Period. Because that's a cackle. That's a cackle for real. Like I don't have a cackle. That's a cackle. But yeah, that's who I would pick. I love that question too. Thank you so much. Yes, I keep saying thank you. I love these questions.
Thank you.
Ryan.
That is me. Yeah. So my question will tie in a little bit to what the beginning of Michelle's question was, but and
Copycat.
I was talking.
Here we
Someone
go.
mute her
Here we
mic. Someone mute her
go.
mic.
I was actually having this conversation with somebody that I work with, and I want to kind of pose the question to you. So, as you're growing up, a lot of people ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And at a certain time, people stop asking that. But as we all know, once you hit, a certain age, you still may not know what you want to be when you grow up, and that's perfectly fine. So, instead of what you want to be when you grow up, if you could go back and someone asked you instead, who do you want to be when you grow up? What would you say? And it doesn't have to be a person. It could be, I want to be a mom. I want to be someone that does good in the world.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be?
Toys R Us kid.
You know what I would say to that person? I would say, I want to be someone who's fearless. I want to be someone who is unafraid of making mistakes and also unafraid of going after exactly what they want. To do that sooner. I want to be the sort of person who doesn't hesitate when they feel that something's right in their gut. And I would say, who do you want to be? A person who, I would actually say to that person, continue to be the person who you are when it comes to love, because you just love. I love unconditionally. I love with forgiveness. I love with patience. I love in a steady way, and I'm really proud of that. So that part, I would say, continue to be who you are in that. But I would definitely say, fearlessness for sure. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
That's it.
And
Everyone run with fearless.
And I love that y'all are with me on this journey. I just want to again thank you all for joining me. I think that's a perfect way to wrap up this episode of Just a Dash. I want to give a shout out to my best friends, my squad, my Wolfpack. They've held me down for quite some time, y'all. It's been many, many years, many ups and downs, many evolutions, many revolutions. And we are still here from beginning to end. That was always the motto, and it's still the motto. And I'm just so excited for where this passion project is going to lead. Thank you so much, y'all. You are the best. I love you so much. And that wraps up Just a Dash episode 1. Woo!
Yay!
So one day,
You did it.
And we're
She said
out.
evolution, metamorphosis.
And we are out in 3,